the dress they said she couldn't try on. Natasha Coleman walked into Bella Rose Bridal with a heart full of excitement. She had been waiting for this day for months. Her wedding was just around the corner, and the dress she had designed herself was finally ready. This was supposed to be a beautiful memory, a moment every bride dreams about. But instead, it turned into a nightmare. Natasha was 32 years old, a successful trauma surgeon, and deeply in love with her fiancé, David. She wasn't just anyone. She was someone who had worked hard every day of her life, someone who had saved lives, and now she just wanted to enjoy the special experience of trying on her dream wedding dress. As she entered the elegant boutique in downtown Chicago, she felt a sense of pride. The store was luxurious, shiny marble floors, sparkling chandeliers, and rows of stunning wedding gowns. It looked exactly like the place she imagined when she first designed her custom dress. She approached the front desk where a young woman named Brittany sat. Her platinum blonde hair was perfectly styled, and her expensive blouse said everything about the boutique's high-end image. But the moment Natasha said her name and asked to try on her dress, she noticed something change. Brittany barely looked up from her phone and answered with cold disinterest. "You have a pending payment," she said, tapping on her keyboard slowly. Natasha smiled politely. "Yes, but I'd like to try the dress on first before finalizing everything. I was told I could." Brittany's tone changed. Her fake smile couldn't hide the attitude in her voice. "We don't allow try-ons before full payment anymore. Store policy." Natasha blinked, confused. "That wasn't mentioned before. I specifically asked." Brittany shrugged. "Well, that's the rule now. These gowns are expensive. We can't risk them getting damaged." Natasha took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. "I understand they're valuable, but I just want to make sure it fits before paying the full amount." "That's not my problem," Brittany replied. "If you want the dress, pay for it. If not, someone else will." Before Natasha could respond, her attention was drawn to a young white woman spinning in front of a mirror in a stunning ivory gown. She was laughing with a friend and clearly trying on her dress without having paid in full. Natasha pointed. "And what about her? She's trying on a dress." Brittany didn't flinch. "Oh, that's Madison Hartwell. She's a VIP client. Her family has shopped in here for years." "So she gets special treatment because of her family?" Natasha asked, now feeling the injustice rising in her chest. "Valued customers get valued treatment," Brittany said with a smirk. Natasha felt anger building inside. "Let me get this straight. She can try on her dress because she's a valued customer, but I can't, even though I'm paying the same?" "Different clients, different policies," Brittany said without blinking. "What exactly makes me different?" Natasha's voice was low but firm. Brittany leaned back in her chair. "If you don't like it, you can shop somewhere else." That was when Natasha asked to speak to the manager. Brittany smirked again. "Sure, but she'll say the same thing." A few moments later, the manager, Victoria Sterling, arrived. Tall, older, and dressed in a sharp suit, she had the coldest eyes Natasha had ever seen. Without offering a greeting, she stared at Natasha like she didn't belong there. Natasha calmly explained the situation again. "I just want to try on the dress I designed and paid for." Victoria glanced at Madison across the boutique, still twirling. "She's a trusted client. You're new. We don't know you or your background." "My background?" Natasha repeated, her voice trembling with disbelief. "We don't know if you'll care for the dress properly," Victoria continued. "We've had issues before." "What kind of issues?" Natasha asked. Victoria didn't blink. "Some customers leave stains, sweat, makeup, and not everyone is clean." That word hit Natasha like a slap. Clean. She felt her breath catch in her chest. They were calling her dirty without saying it outright. She had never been so humiliated. "You're not letting me try on my dress because I'm black," she said, her voice now firm and loud enough for others to hear. Gasps filled the boutique. Madison froze. Other customers stopped shopping and turned to stare. The room went silent. Victoria's face turned red. "How dare you accuse me of something so disgusting?" Natasha didn't back down. "You treated me like trash from the moment I walked in, and now you're trying to throw me out." "I built this place," Victoria snapped. "We have standards." "What kind of standards?" Natasha asked. "The kind that protect our brand," Victoria said. "We serve people who fit in, who look like our regular customers." "And I don't fit in?" Natasha said, feeling tears sting the back of her eyes. Victoria leaned closer. "I think you should try a bridal shop on the other side of town. Something more in your price range." Natasha's body shook with rage. "I'm not leaving until I try on my dress." "Oh, yes, you are," Victoria snapped. She turned to the back and shouted, "Security!" A large man in a dark suit walked up with a firm expression. "Ma'am, I'll need you to leave or we'll call the police." The word police rang in Natasha's ears like a threat. She knew what that meant, how quickly things could go wrong for a black woman in a white store. She looked around the boutique. Everyone was watching, some in shock, others entertained. "This is unbelievable," she said loudly. "You're kicking me out for wanting to buy my wedding dress." "You're causing trouble," Victoria said. "No," Natasha replied. "I'm exposing it." She walked out head high, though her heart was heavy. The moment she stepped outside, she pulled out her phone and called her fiancé. "David," she said. "It happened again." David didn't ask for details. "I'm on my way." 10 minutes later, a black Tesla pulled up. David Mitchell stepped out, tall, commanding, and furious. As they walked back into the store together, silence swept across the boutique. Victoria appeared, her confidence returning when she saw Natasha again. "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. We've had a situation with this woman." "This woman," David said loudly, "is my fiancée, and I understand you refuse to let her try on her wedding dress." Victoria faltered. "We have policies." "Really?" David asked, pointing to Madison still in her dress. "Did she pay in full?" Silence. Then excuses. "She's a valued customer," Victoria muttered. "And what is Natasha?" David said. "She ordered the dress months ago, paid a deposit, never missed a payment. And she's a trauma surgeon. She saves lives every single day. But you treated her like dirt." "I didn't know," Victoria said. David stepped closer. "Didn't know what? That she was with someone you might respect? That she mattered?" David pulled out a business card and placed it on the counter. Victoria read it and froze. David Mitchell, CEO of Mitchell Holdings and the new owner of Bella Rose Bridal. "You threw my fiancée out of her own store," he said, ice in his voice. Victoria's face turned white. Brittany's mouth hung open. "You're both fired," David said, "immediately." They tried to apologize, but he cut them off. "If I hear either of you working in retail again, I'll make sure everyone knows who you really are." The store was dead silent. David turned to the rest of the staff. "From now on, every customer is treated with respect. I don't care where they're from or what they look like. If that's a problem, you can leave with them." Then he turned to Natasha, his eyes softening. "Let's try on your dress," he said gently, "as many times as you want." For the first time that day, Natasha smiled. They walked together toward the fitting room. This time, no one tried to stop her. No one dared whisper, because the store was now hers, literally and symbolically. And as she stepped into the gown she had dreamed of for so long, she knew that justice had been done.